Right, all those who've been following the Sopwith Pup border scale build, welcome back. We're now moving on to installing our ailerons. Obviously they were made up on the wing when we done the wing section, and now I'm coming to where I need to fit them, fit the hinges and get them all ready prior to covering the wings. So here goes. As you can see on the plans, zooming nice and clearly, that's our aileron and that's our main wing section here. What we need to do is now we need to install the hinges to give us our ailerons that move up and down. So what I need to do, and if you can see on the plans here, is we have our angle going up there that was built in, that would have followed on, but on the plan it shows that we've got a vertical going up from that now. So what I've done is I've measured down from the top to the point where the vertical ends and marked, I think it worked out about 5mm, marked that on the edge of the aileron, and obviously the amount, I put the aileron on, like I'll show you, I've got one here, put that on, wrong one, I put that on like so over the plan, and then I was able to transfer the mark on this side and obviously the overlap on the top, place my marks, and then that gives you a nice cutting reference. So with that done, then what we've done, we come up to the bandsaw, set the bandsaw up so we can offer the aileron through the bandsaw, and then it's just a case of just running it through, and then that give us our nice vertical edge that we require ready for when we put the hinges in. Just run a piece of sandpaper over that just to tidy things up. So if I come back over to the wing now, bear with me for a second just while I put the camera back into its holder. So back to the wing now, move this one out of the way. What we've got is our aileron with our nice straight edge cut, and what we need to do now is mark out for our hinges. Again, on the plan you can place the made aileron on the plan, and you can see, I don't think you can see with the pencil marks, I've put pencil marks where the hinges, one there and one just there if you can see carefully. It's free on this aileron like all the rest, and basically mark them, then measured down approximately 3mm from the top as per the plan, and then with our tool, our hinge tool, cut our hinges, and it's basically, they've got to go in an angle as per the plan if you remember, and then push these all the way through, and then they're ready to receive our hinges. I've done that already, as I've said, I've done a lot of this beforehand because it was easier for me to do it and then show you. Place our hinge in here, the next hinge along, like so, the next one along, like so, and then once we've got that done, what I do, I take the aileron, I'll just zoom in a little bit for you, oh, wrong way, zoom in a little bit for you, and I take the aileron down, and then remembering when we built the model we had to use a packing piece to give us enough space and an equal space between the aileron edge and the wing edge, and then it's just a case of lining up the aileron, making sure everything's nice and square like so, and then once we're happy with everything being flush, transfer our marks across. And then what I've done with these little hinges, it's just a case I've pushed the hinge at each point onto the trailing edge of the wing where the hinge is going to go, and that has given me an indentation which shows me where the hinges have gone. I've just squared that up with a ruler and drawn a line along the width of the mark, and then again what I've done is I've just gone in, show you on this one here, at an angle, and then push through until we get through to give us our extra hinge slots here. And then all it is, just zoom out again for you, then all it requires me to do is just take the hinge and then offer it to the holes. Again, it's a little bit tricky because they're at an angle, and then push all the way home, and then just double check everything's nice and square here, and then that gives us our free moving hinge. As you can see, the reason we have the vertical cut out here, it gives us a nice smooth movement of the hinge and it doesn't catch onto the back of the trailing edge of the wing. So there we go, it's nice and free moving, so that'll be nice when we get that all rigged up to the servos. There'll be no binding there, no warping or anything, so I'm quite pleased with that. Again, if I can hold the wing up, I'll show you that we have got a very nice flush fit. I'm sure there's people out there say don't do it like that, but it works for me. It seems to work every time I've done it, so I'm going to stick with it. You may know of a better way, so that's okay, but that's just the way I do it. And once you've got one done and the angles marked for one, you can use the angles to transfer for all the other ailerons over onto the bandsaw, so that saves a bit of time as well. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be back a little bit later on once we've got all those ailerons made, and then we'll start looking at perhaps doing a cockpit, or I may even decide for a change, I might decide I'm going to cover the elevators and the rear stabiliser, just to cover a bit of covering.